What's up, it's your boy the ManXX back with another video and another segment I call Let's Talk About, where I share my opinions on certain topics such as movies, games and other stuff. I've always thought about doing this, but I held it off until I could get better equipment, like a better microphone instead of using this shitty one. But with what's going on in the world, my resources are kinda low, so I guess this will just have to do until I get a better microphone. Now, let's talk about Kenway. Assassin's Creed 3 stands at a weird place for most people. It was supposed to be the finale to the Desmond Miles story. It was supposed to introduce a new Assassin's Creed protagonist after one of the best video game characters of all time, Ezio, and it was supposed to breathe new life into the Assassin's Creed franchise after Revelations was deemed a bit stale, even after the amazing storyline. Ubisoft never really managed to satisfy everyone, unfortunately, including introducing a new hero with Kenway. Some people really like Connor, some people don't, and some people are just in the middle. I don't think Kenway was a great Assassin's Creed protagonist, but I don't think he was horrible either. So let me just give my opinion. I repeat, my opinion on the matter. So let's talk about the good. Right off the bat, I liked Kenway's fighting style. In my opinion, the combat system of Assassin's Creed 3 was the best of any Assassin's Creed game out there. It was so satisfying and epic, whereas Ezio or Altair had more elegant or swift fighting style. Kenway was brute and angry, and the difference was a nice welcome. I mean, look at the guy. He's built like a freaking tank, and I don't know who's the most skilled assassin, but I definitely know the strongest. The tomahawk was my favorite weapon, and this costume design was near perfect. When I saw the reveal trailer, I was just like, wow, this is gonna be a really epic Assassin's Creed hero. One of the best parts of the AC3 campaign are the interactions between Connor and his father, Kenway.
Father, Connor.
When they had their moments, it was always engaging. Like for instance, when Hedgehog explained his side of the Templar Order to Connor, you could really see that there is a grey area between the Assassins and the Templars. This was the first time ever where I saw that maybe the Templars aren't so much the bad guys, but they just had different ideologies compared to the Assassins, with Hedgehog explaining that humans will always continue to be weak and always fall if they continue on having freedom and no guiding force, while Connor upheld his Assassin's Creed beliefs that no one has the right to control anyone and everybody has the right to freedom. Considering he was also a Native American, he yearned for freedom not only for his people but for everyone else.
What is it the Templars truly seek?
Order. Purpose. Direction. No more than that. Peace.
Freedom is peace.
Oh no. It's an invitation to chaos.
The more interactions Connor had with his father, the more he questioned himself, and he even wanted to find a middle ground with his father, despite him being an assassin and his father being a Templar. And this is where I actually understood his story and felt sympathy for him, because his mother had died when he was young and he didn't want to have to kill his father. And also his theme, oh my gosh, his theme is amazing. If you haven't listened to the AC3 theme, go listen to it right now. Another thing was Connor was a really noble assassin too, and not only did he want to help his people, but everyone in general, and he was a rather humble guy, sometimes.
Ah, so you're the one who saved Sam and John at Lexington.
It was the Patriots who did that. I merely lent support.
As humble as he is brave. We could use more men like you.
You don't really see this in the main missions, but the homestead missions, whereby he builds a community around him and he manages to help people in need. And that's where you get a glimpse of his personality and his conviction to help people and to fight for what he believed in.
Ellen and Maria are free of you. I say so. The people behind me say so. Believe me when I tell you, if I ever see you on this land again, I will end you.
Also, you got to pet animals and climb trees, so more points for Connor. Connor did show some hints of personality and some tiny moments of being a badass, but this was sprinkled throughout the game.
It was not wise to run.
I see you made it here in one piece.
Recovered from your beating then? I will not die today. The same cannot be said for you.
That's enough!
Like for instance, the Bunker Hill mission, whereby Connor said this badass line.
That's twice today you proposed the impossible.
I see no other choice.
Not because you're mad as a March hare, son.
I expect an apology on my return.
Also, I like young Connor. After his mother gets killed, you understand why he's so stoic, and when he goes out to search for Achilles, he is so stubborn and shows a great conviction in refusing to let anyone stand between him and his mission, and that was kinda badass.
I realize now that it will take time, that the road is long and shrouded in darkness. It is a road that will not always take me where I wish to go, but I will travel down it nonetheless.
Now let's talk about the problem with Connor Kenway. So just to clarify, I played Assassin's Creed 3 a few months ago. When it got released, I didn't have a console and my PC didn't have the right requirements cause I was broke. But when I was able to get it, I heard all kinds of opinions. Oh, AC3 is not the best. Desmond's story doesn't come to a satisfying conclusion. Connor Kenway is not a compelling protagonist. And I was like, okay, let me just skip it. Fast forward to 2020, I just decided, you know what, now is the time, play this game and form my own opinion. So the many complaints about Connor Kenway is that he is too stoic, he has zero emotions, he shows no personality, and is not like Ezio. And personally, I disagree with this. I don't think Connor is not like Ezio is a valid argument because these are two different type of characters. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want an Ezio type character throughout the whole Assassin's Creed franchise. That would become tedious and boring. I would say that Connor is overly stoic or just too stoic, and then at times he was either angry or naive, which got a bit annoying.
Simple as that.
Simple seems a bit charitable.
Cheer up, Connor.
Encouraging words from one who thought mine a fool's errand.
But I can't help but feel some pride in your success.
And why should I give you any credit?
Then don't. But first, return the robe and the blade and the darts and all of the years of training and...
This is one of the few moments whereby his character is a bit dull. And I know what Connor fans are thinking. Oh, Connor saw his mother get burned alive as a child and that's why his personality is like that. But here is the problem. I get why Connor wouldn't be the happiest person in the world and why he is serious. But a serious and broody character doesn't equal being dull and uninteresting. Not saying Connor was 100% dull or uninteresting, but he lacked significant character development, and there are many cases where this shows. I mean, let's compare this with Haytham, his own father. He saw his father die in front of him when he was just a child, like Connor, but he is far from dull.
A word, please, Mr. Kenway.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's your knife, Beth.
Ezio saw his brother and father get killed, and he is far from dull, and Altair had no family, and he is a very serious character, but he is not dull. And none of these people lacked character development like Connor has in Assassin's Creed 3.
But with Lee gone, my father might...
Listen to me. Both men must die.
Achilles.
There is nothing more to discuss.
I should have killed you long ago.
My father is dead. Charles Lee now leads the Templar.
And people seem to forget that Altair was a very serious character as well. He didn't crack jokes every second, but he wasn't too serious like Connor, and Altair was snarky at times.
Best hurry. No doubt you're eager to put your tongue to his boot.
Another word and I'll put my blade to your throat.
And my main criticism isn't that Connor doesn't smile, but he shows limited range with his emotions and personality. People who usually like Connor say that he's like Batman, and I don't think he's like Batman at all. I mean, yes, Batman is a very serious character, but he has layers to him that makes him more interesting. And Connor, on the other hand, was way too serious, and then he was angry, and then he was naive, and shows limited character growth.
Injustice. These are just symptoms. Their true cause is human weakness. Why do you think I keep on trying to show you the error of your way?
You have said much, yes, but you have shown me nothing.
Assassins are meant to be quiet, precise. We do not go announcing conspiracies from the rooftops to all who pass by.
Since the day I arrived, you've done nothing but discourage me. And on the rare occasions you've chosen to help, you've done so little, you may as well have done nothing at all.
How dare you! If I sought to dissuade you, it was because you knew nothing. If I was reluctant to contribute, it was because you were naive. 1,000 times you would have died and taken God knows how many with you.
Let's compare Connor's growth with other assassins. Altair, he had a serious personality and was brash and a cocky bastard in the beginning of Assassin's Creed, but then he grew to be more patient and understanding while maintaining his badassery.
Bold words, boy. But just words.
Then let me go. I'll put words into action.
Ezio, he was a charismatic, funny, confident guy. Then he sees his family die and is consumed by vengeance. Then he grows from it and goes to speak about freedom and letting go of things he can't control, bringing it to a conclusion.
Choose your own way. Do not follow me or anyone else.
So let's clarify. This Connor Kenway at the beginning is the same Connor Kenway at the end. There is limited character growth and story progression within him. When Connor's story ends, it's like an empty feeling. It wasn't really a sad ending, and I don't mind sad endings at all, but it just felt like nothing. Maybe they were setting up for a sequel, but then it was cut. But then when Assassin's Creed 3 ended, I just felt so disappointed. I will admit to this though, the burying of the hatchet and the removing of it was actually pretty cool.
What have you done?
When my people go to war, a hatchet is buried into a post to signify its start. When the threat is ended, the hatchet is removed.
You could have used a tree.
And I'm sorry, but to me, AC3 didn't showcase how badass he was. Despite the combat, his defining traits were, what would you have me do?
What would you have me do? Where am I to go?
What am I to do? What would you have me do? And the golden one. Yes, the golden one. Where is Charles Lee?
Where are you, Charles? Charles Lee, Charles Lee. Where is Charles Lee? Charles Lee, Charles Lee. Charles Lee, Charles Lee. Where is Charles Lee gone? Give me Lee!
And trust me, I get it. Connor is angry because he thought Charles Lee killed his mother, and that was interesting and compelling to see where they would get his vengeance. But when he finds out it was Washington responsible, he doesn't really do anything with that information.
What happens to this great man when under duress? He makes excuses, displaces blame, does a great many things, in fact, except take responsibility.
No, I have failed. My people are gone. Chased out by those who I thought would protect them.
I mean, fans had to defend his plot twist through comment sections as it wasn't executed well in the game.
It is not enough.
It will never be enough. You strive for that which does not exist.
When he kills Lee, it is obviously to stop the Templars, but it's still a hollow victory, and the game doesn't expand on this and the Washington situation and just ends like that. And the only bit of closure you'll get is in a speech that wasn't even in the game, and I'll talk about that later in the video.
You wield your blade like a man, but your mouth like a child.
And I think that's the constant problem with Connor. He had so much potential, but then the landing just didn't stick as well as it could have. And in terms of relationships, Connor didn't really have significant or compelling relationships with people around him. His saving graces were with his father, his friend when he was young, and sometimes Achilles. And when Connor wasn't being so stubborn, and he later learned that despite Achilles hiding and letting the Templars grow, he was partially right about Connor being so naive.
In your haste to save the world, boy, take care you don't destroy it.
Before I move on to my final segment, thank you for watching this far, and please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Now onto the wasted potential of Connor Kenway. Now there is a speech from Connor Kenway on YouTube that I just randomly came across, and I'll link it down in the description. Here in this speech, I think this was supposed to clearly show what Connor Kenway was supposed to be about.
Were we not meant to live in peace then? Is that it? Are we born to argue? To fight? So many voices, each demanding something else.
In the speech, he talks about failing his people and the mission, and even addresses the Washington plot twist a bit. And despite all the failures he had gone through and all the hardships, he states that he will continue to fight for the assassins and his beliefs.
Because I believe things can still change. I may never succeed. The assassins may struggle another 1,000 years in vain, but we will not stop.
And despite his father being right about some points, he didn't acknowledge him. And I grew more of an appreciation for Connor in this.
You would say I have described the whole of history, Father.
Are you smiling then? Hoping I might speak the words you long to hear? To validate you? To say that all along you were right? I will not.
And here's the kicker, this wasn't even in the game. It's a deleted segment, and I was just like, why wasn't this in the game? If this was in the game, I'm sure people who didn't like Connor Kenway would warm up to him just a bit. I mean, I didn't, as I said, I didn't hate Connor Kenway. I think he was very average, but in this speech I clearly understand what the character was supposed to be about, and maybe he might have gotten a sequel, but again, we'll never know. And we will just stick to this limbo whereby some people think Connor is an underrated character and some people think he's a forgettable character, and we'll never get a proper conclusion to this story, in my opinion.
Yet you fight. You resist. Why?
Because no one else will.
Whew, glad I got that off my chest. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and let me know what else you want me to talk about in terms of games, movies and other stuff. Now, stay dope.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.